Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by. This is the recording for the Study Abroad 101 workshop. Before we get started here, my name is Paul Cadavy. I'm one of the GEO student recruiters here at the office. My major is business law, and I minor in French, and I'm also a junior. I've done quite a few global education programs, such as a summer in Lyon, France, a semester in Rome, and a summer semester abroad in Prague. So I like to think I have a pretty good grasp of the different types of programs. And on the right here are just some pictures of my experiences. Throughout this recording, we're going to cover why actually participate in a global education program, the different eligibilities and how to earn credit, the main types of global education programs, housing, funding and scholarships, and the next steps moving forward. Hmm. So to answer that first question, why participate in a global education program? We get this question a lot, and we usually answer it in three ways. The first one is that it broadens your perspective of countries and cultures. Um, in my personal opinion, I feel like in America and a little bit in ASU as a school, we tend to live in a little bit of a bubble. We get used to things. So it's very important, just as people, to go explore the world, different cultures, meet new people, eat new foods, and explore the world. Then, of course, growing your independence and becoming an active learner. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory or explanatory. You're going to be by yourself overseas, having to figure some things out. And then lastly, competitiveness. Um, if you're watching, I don't know how interested you are in looking for internships or jobs right now, but chances are eventually you will. And having these experiences is definitely something to highlight on your resume, and it allows you to stand out from the crowd. There are a lot of different types of global education experiences, mainly being research, internships, service learning, online global learning, and lastly, of course, you got study abroad. As a little rundown of what our office offers, we have over 300 programs in more than 65 countries, ranging from 1 week all the way up to 1 year. These programs do span across every single continent, including Antarctica. So there is something for everyone, something we like to say. As far as eligibility requirements go, for the most part, it's pretty general across all programs, but some requirements may differ. Mainly, you need a cumulative GPA of 2.0 or higher. You have to be a degree-seeking student at ASU. You have to be in good standing with the ASU Code of Conduct. Um, and of course, other requirements will be listed on the program brochure. Those may include prerequisite requirements, foreign language proficiency, and major specificity depending on the program. And it is important to note that the credits you take abroad count towards your GPA and allow you to stay on track for graduation. I did three programs and I'm graduating a semester early, if that tells you anything about it. It also lets you maintain honors and scholarship status. And if you don't have any foreign language experience, it's not a problem. There are four main types of study abroad programs, being faculty-directed GIE, which stands for Global Intensive Experiences, partnership programs, and exchange programs. The faculty-directed programs take place during the summer, and the length of those is between 2 to 8 weeks. Um, and of course, all these lengths will be specified in the program brochure. But anyways, these programs are with ASU faculty and ASU students, and you receive predetermined ASU course credits. This is a very structured program. You're going to be with ASU professors and ASU students. Global intensive experiences are our shortest programs, ranging from 1 week to 12 days over session breaks, meaning spring break, winter break, things like that. These are also with ASU faculty and ASU students and are often connected to an ASU semester course. This combines in-class learning with real-world experiences. And the way it works is that you take an in-person class at ASU during the semester, and to finish off the course, you're going to be heading off to this to the country that you've been learning about, or to the country that's listed on the GIE program. The partnership programs are one of our longer term options, ranging from semesters, summers, AB sessions, and year-long. These are a little bit more independent. There are on-site staff available to support students, but for the main part, you'll be taking classes with local, international, and or U.S. students. Long way of saying you'll be taking classes with pretty much anyone else at that university, and the classes are often taught in English. Exchange programs are the ultimate study abroad experience. These range from summers to semesters to a full year, and it is our most independent and most immersive program type. You're going to be taking classes with local faculty and local students at a local university. The classes are taught in the local language, and it's up to you to arrange housing, visa, and your own excursions. Now, there are a couple programs I want to highlight, mainly being the Global Flex, Global Network, and Open Campus, which I will talk about in the next few slides. Global Flex stands for flexibility, and it covers our most uh, flexible option for students. The program length is between 6, 12, and 18 weeks. We usually address these as blocks. You get to choose however many of these blocks you want to do, up to three. And this is a great fit for students with tight degree programs who think they can't study abroad because it allows you to take your required classes in online while taking some in-person classes or an internship in person to get that in-person study abroad experience. Global Network is great for affordability. Students who might be worried if studying abroad is a little bit expensive, which it's not, by the way. But Global Network programs are designed to max out at the same cost as a semester at ASU. So if you're doing a Global Network program, you can guarantee that that program cost is going to line up with your semester at ASU. The tuitions are going to match. Um, and basically, students can study abroad for the same cost as a semester on campus, 30 different locations, and internships are also available for this one. Open campus is great if you can't really decide on where you want to go. It addresses mobility. Once again, we have the block system, 6, 12, 18 weeks. Great fit for students who can't decide, like I mentioned. For each of these blocks, you get to choose a different location, spanning 5 different continents. So you can spend 6 weeks in Rome, 6 weeks in Paris, and then you can go somewhere else for the third week. Um, Another great option. And then lastly, we also have those internships that allow you to gain international professional work and experience. I did one of these in Prague. I highly recommend Sun Devils in Prague program. Very nice. They are unpaid, important to note. However, you do earn 3 to 6 ASU internship credits, which do count towards degree required internships, and they are available in a wide variety of industries. Um, the programs are typically available to every single major, and the program coordinators, they work with you to find internships that connect with your personal and career goals. We like to say no coffee runs. You're not going to just be filling out paperwork, grabbing coffee. You're going to be doing actual projects, working on actual issues. It's a great experience. Now that we know about all the different types of programs, how do we actually pick one of these? So there are a few places to start after I take my sip of water. All right, the first one is the Study Abroad by Major guides. These are listed on our website. For each major at ASU on our website, you select the school that you're studying in, your major, and we have a curated list of recommended programs that students with your major have taken in the past. This recommendation page isn't exhaustive. There are still tons and tons of options for you, but this is just a great place to start. If you have a minor that you need credits for, same thing with a certificate, gen eds, or electives. You might want to consider studying abroad to get those. Even if you just want to pursue a new passion, interest, or experience, say you really love pasta, you love pizza, you want to go to the source, you can go study abroad in Italy. And then, of course, program length and location, very important to consider. Housing abroad is something we get a lot of questions about, mainly due to the uncertainty of it. Options may include homestays, off-campus apartments, on-campus residence halls, hotels, and or hostels. This is going to be determined by the program and by the location. Chances are for a long-term program, you won't be in a hotel. That's probably more for some of the shorter term programs where you're not there as long. In my experience, I've been in apartments off campus for all of my programs, but it's been a great experience. And we like to say to set realistic expectations. Obviously, you're not going to be getting a giant penthouse in the heart of Paris right next to the Eiffel Tower. Especially in some countries, the apartment might be a little smaller than you think. You might not have AC in Europe. Um, but that's just living. So definitely set realistic expectations, go in with an open mind, and I promise you're going to have a great time, like me. I did. Um, Funding your program. This is something a lot of people tend to perk their ears up at. Um, Many students think that they can't participate on a program because it's too expensive. Eh. Oh, this is a myth. This is false. Our office awards over $2 million dollars in scholarships annually, which, if you ask me, is quite a bit of money. Um, Additionally, the ASU scholarships and financial aid you already receive apply to most of your programs. And some semester programs, like the Global Network, may cost the same or even less than a semester at ASU. Just to reiterate that, my program in Rome for a semester was not a global network program. It was a partnership program, and I still ended up saving quite a bit of money, a couple $1,000 just on the program cost difference compared to a tuition at ASU. So this is a little chart that's also on our website, but it just goes over how some of those financial aid and scholarships that you might already have apply to different programs. You might see that for some of them they fall off during the summer. That just has to do with their rules. It's not how we accept things. But with that, you may want to contact Financial Aid and Scholarship Services with any questions regarding those. Our office accepts tons of scholarships, but for those external ones, it's up to you guys to do your due diligence, and obviously get in contact with those different organizations. Oops. These are some of the scholarships that our office offers specifically. These are very nice, very easy to apply to. Takes a couple minutes, no essay. You can apply to every single one of these at the same time, and you can win up to two of them. See a lot of students doing these. The most important thing is just to get these applications in. Well, I guess just one to get this application in before the deadline, of course. You also have the Benjamin A. Gilman Scholarship. This one's a little bit more complex, up to $5,000. You can see the requirements here. You have to be a U.S. citizen, Pell Grant recipient, going on an international program, which you probably are if you're going through this office. And they have a preference for diversity in student and location. And this one does, in fact, require detailed, engaging essays. And for this one, we recommend students go to ASU's Office of National Scholarship Advisement in Barrett, which is a great resource to help. I know they have the writing center in there too, so if you're writing that essay, they can definitely help you out. Even more scholarships. Chances are your ASU department offers a study abroad scholarship. Check in with WP Carey and Fulton, um, the college, School of Sustainability, Barrett, etc. Um, but yeah, go ahead, ask if your department offers scholarships. Chances are they'll have something, but the most important thing is to get that in as soon as possible ahead of the deadlines. And then, of course, attend a Financing Your Global Education Program workshop held every other week. We also have a recording of that on our website done by yours truly. And those dive deeper into funding your program. Lastly, follow us on social media. Our Instagram is awesome. We work hard on it, especially the memes. Um, And then for next steps, I definitely recommend scheduling a one-on-one peer advising appointment. Meet with your academic advisor, start searching through programs, start looking at that major search, and of course, start applying for scholarships. If you have any questions regarding the material in this presentation or just have some questions about study abroad in general, go ahead and email us at goglobal@asu.edu or call us at the phone number on the screen.
Hi guys, my name is Trisha and I'm going to be taking over the website walkthrough with you guys. I'm going to be showing you guys our global education website and showing you how to find programs, scholarship opportunities, and etc. So let's go over that right now. This is our website, our goglobal.asu.edu, and this basically has a bunch of information about scholarships, how to find your majors, some deadlines, things like that. So first, let me show you two different ways to find programs. So we have a study abroad by major guides under here, and we also have a search programs filter. So let's first click on the study abroad by majors. So first we're going to click an academic college. I'm just going to click business administration. And yeah, so it'll take you to WP Carey or whatever college you desire. And it'll show you all the majors, maybe not all majors, but it'll show you some of the most common majors. And here you can view programs. And these are all the recommended programs for that major that the GEO recommends for you. You are not obviously limited to just these programs. These are just the ones that we do recommend. So as you can see, we have all types of programs. We have some partnership programs. We have some global intensive experiences, exchange programs, faculty-directed programs. So this is one way to find programs if you're interested in sticking with your major. We have a lot of options for a lot of different majors. And now our second way to find a program is by going right here to search programs. Once you go to search programs, you'll go to the program discovery and click on these filters. Sorry about these filters. Let's see. You'll click on these filters and you can filter it out by term, countries. A lot of students are interested in going in a specific location, and I think this is a great way to filter that out. So a lot of students are interested in going to Italy, so let's add that as a filter. And then say you want to go for about a spring semester. And then there's obviously a bunch of more filters like class standing. Let's say that you're a sophomore and you want to see what's available for sophomores. So these are basically just a bunch of filters that you can filter out to see all the different programs. So yeah, it'll show you all the different programs through those filters that you have applied. And let me just click on a program and let's go through each program's brochure. So this is a program brochure. Each program will have one and it'll have some quick facts, some academic highlights. It'll tell you some requirements such as the GPA requirement, if you need a language prerequisite. It'll tell you if it's open to all majors or not. This is going to be your international coordinator. Every program brochure has a contact or meet with button, and that person is someone that you are able to meet with when you have questions about the programs or anything specific to programs. So, because you can book an appointment with them. So, on our program overview, when you scroll down, they also have typical application deadlines. So, that's a good thing to keep in mind as well. We kind of have everything on this page. We have information on location and housing. It'll tell you what type of program housing you'll have and where you'll be staying. It also has stuff about passport and visa information. It's important to know that in ASU, it is up to the students to obtain their own visa, and we have resources for the students here, but that is something that is up to the students. You're fully responsible for researching, applying for, and securing your own visa. We also have course info, so we have information on courses. If it's a partnership program, you can view the partnerships course catalog. I'm really sorry that we're not able to view it, but this should usually take you to a page where it has a bunch of courses and it'll give you more information on that. This also just has some academic highlights and more information on courses as well. And then here is the program cost sheet. Each of our programs have a program cost sheet, and we can click on one just to see what they would look like. So here are some cost sheets it looks like for this. I'm just going to click Arizona resident. Click on whatever applies to you, obviously. So it'll give you some information. It'll tell you the total cost of attendance. It'll tell you the educational fee. It'll compare it to the ASU fee. And it'll tell you what scholarships apply for that program and what scholarships do not. And obviously, there's just some common scholarships. Obviously, contact any of the financial aid if you have any questions on scholarships. But yeah, it is also important to know that we have a billable subtotal and a non-billable subtotal. Let me click on a different program to show you more clearly. But the billable subtotal is what will be billed to your My ASU account. Let me click right here and see if that will show you that. Yes. So each of our programs, keep in mind that the billable subtotal is what you will see on your My ASU account. This is what scholarships can help cover for. This is what you owe ASU. And the non-billable subtotal is just some rough estimates that it might not be the exact cost, but this is something you should definitely keep in mind to budget for when you are going abroad. So that is kind of how you go through our website with the program brochures. We also have some information on financing right here, kind of some stuff we touched on in the global education financing workshop, and some special considerations such as disability accommodations, physical considerations, gender identity, things like that. So those are two different ways to find programs. And under ASU students, here you can go to scholarships and financial aid, and this is where I'll show you guys how to look for scholarships. So here is that same cost sheet from the financing workshop where you can see how some of your common scholarships can apply to any of these programs. We have some information on Obama scholarships. If you guys want to look at the FAQs for that, it'll take you to that page. Um, And then we have our GEO scholarships, more information on that. And then this also takes you to the link of the GEO scholarship application, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, we also have our scholarship search right here, which is a great way to find scholarships outside of our office. These are basically just here's a bunch of filters you can apply, but I would just scroll down and see all the different scholarships that they offer. Some of these might have essay requirements, some of these might have different requirements, but as I give advice to anyone about scholarships, apply as early as possible. That is probably the biggest advice that anyone can give you about scholarships because especially for the GEO scholarship, the only one of the main requirements is to have a pending application. You don't have to be accepted, you don't have to be committed, you just need to have a pending application. So these are some additional scholarships that our website offers. But yeah, we also have some FAQs over here. On that same tab, we have some visa information. We still give some information on help with visas, even though it is on the students to obtain their own. But yeah, it doesn't hurt to look at the FAQs. You never know, you might have some questions that everyone's wondering. But that is kind of how you guys go through our website. This website is also where you access your GEO applications. So yeah, it was great to walk through this with you guys. And if you have any questions ever, please contact our office at goglobal@asu.edu. Yeah, we're always happy to help.